What's up? It's your boy Jay Danger here, looking freaking juiced up to the gills today. Even though I'm not juicing. I'm gonna talk to you guys today about bloating and how to not bloat, things we can do to prevent bloating. So of course the main reasons for bloating are gas, fluid retention, food intolerance, swallowing air when you're like eating or drinking, and then of course constipation. So when it comes to gas, obviously that could be multiple factors. It could be the certain foods that you ate and how they digest in your digestive tract. It could be causing a bunch of gas to build up in your stomach and cause a bunch of pain. Seriously, with gas, I mean, it causes a ton of pain and it hurts so bad, and it causes your stomach to just distend out, and it feels like there's like nothing you can do to prevent that. So we're gonna talk about a couple things, and the gas pretty much comes into like also food intolerance. So they kind of play together. So with food intolerance, you want to find out what foods work for you, what foods you can eat that aren't gonna cause you pain, because there's, you know, people who are like lactose intolerant. Obviously, if they have dairy, they're gonna be in pain, they're gonna get gas, they're gonna get bloated. So when it comes to foods, you need to kind of trial and error foods yourself in order to figure out which foods settle in your stomach better, which ones you can digest easier and like don't sit in your stomach for a really long time and cause you a lot of pain. So definitely figure out which foods cause your food intolerance, if that's the case for you, because that will help prevent the gas issue as well. Another brief one we're going to talk on, it's not too common, but it is kind of common, which is getting air, swallowing air whenever you're eating or drinking. So usually that comes down to like how fast that you're eating or drinking. So if you drink water really fast, you ever seen those people who like put water up to their mouth and they start go, 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 and they're doing that, they're swallowing air as well with the water. So definitely when it comes to air, it can cause a lot of pain, just as much pain as gas, I would say. And that comes down to like carbonated beverages as well, which will cause, you know, obviously a lot of bloating. So drinking water is super important. I recommend drinking only water, but if you like that occasional drink now and then, drinking it very slowly will help prevent the issue. It's not going to stop it because it's still a carbonated beverage. But that's the next thing we're going to go ahead and hit on, which is eating your food slower or eating smaller meals. So if you don't have time during the day to eat all throughout the day, which is what I like doing because it just fits my lifestyle better. I don't like eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and having that be my meal those being my meals throughout the day, because it's just too much for me to eat at once. Causes a lot of pain, causes a lot of distension in my stomach. And so in order to prevent that, what I do is I like to eat throughout the day. So I eat, and not a lot either, and I eat slow still. So, and this may help you too. It's something that you want to trial and error with. So whether you want to eat throughout the day, or if you don't have the time for that and you need to eat full meals, as 3 meals, then what I recommend for that is to eat them slowly. Like today, I had rice with ground turkey, and normally I don't like to eat too much rice. I'm more of a complex carbohydrates intaker, such as like sweet potatoes, and rice is a simple carbohydrate. Sorry, coming down with the sickness. I'm not down with the sickness though. But yeah, just eating your meals a lot slower will help prevent distension in your stomach. I don't know if you ever noticed it or not. Maybe you've done it, but you know, you're like super hungry, right? Like you're like starving. You're like, oh man, and then you go and you eat like a pizza or something like that, and you're just shoving down slices. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, you know, before you know it, you ate a whole pizza, and then after that, for the next like 2 hours, you feel like crap. You know, and then obviously you're gonna get constipation from that. So not only did you probably swallow air when you ate your food, you ate a ton of food all at once, and then now you're gonna have constipation as well, depending on if you're like lactose intolerant or not, or you know how well that you can actually digest a freaking pizza, which I don't think anyone can really digest that very well. But that's pretty much the gist of the beginning of it, which is eating your meals slower. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily eat complex carbohydrates all the time, which I'll hit on in a second, but It doesn't mean you have to eat complex carbohydrates or something. You can still eat rice. You can still eat simple carbohydrates. You're just gonna have to eat them a lot slower because they can cause a lot of bloating, a lot of gas, and discomfort. So, but the next thing I'm gonna hit on is the kind of foods that you eat. So obviously, eating a protein-rich and complex carbohydrate diet with fiber, and the fiber is super important too. If you don't get in very much fiber, you're gonna have a lot of constipation issues, as well as if you don't drink water. But I don't recommend drinking water with your meals. Like if you split up your meals and you have 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe even dessert, I recommend like waiting at least like an hour after you eat those meals to start drinking some water. And the reason for that is it just puts too much in your stomach for your stomach to be able to process through. So now you have water and food in there, so your stomach has to process all of that. But definitely eating like a protein-rich and complex carbohydrate diet, as well as getting your fiber in, is going to prevent constipation. Okay, the complex carbohydrates are going to digest easier in your body, as well as protein. The protein helps you digestion as well. Sorry, I'm coming off of a sickness right now, having a little bit of trouble to stay focused here. But so yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. What everything boils down to is the speed at which you eat your food and the kind of foods that you eat. You definitely need to get in fiber. There's also fluid retention, which I don't really go on this one too much because I feel like I have like a medium to high sodium intake, and I don't find that to bloat me, but that doesn't mean it's not going to do it for you. Same thing with like creatine. Some people bloat off of creatine. I don't bloat off of creatine. But if you do blow off of those things, I recommend just cutting back on creatine, cutting back on your sodium intake may help you stop bloating as well. If you've already done the other steps and you notice that you still have bloating. So those are the main ideas there. So of course, gas, constipation, fluid retention, food intolerance. Can't remember what the other one was off the top of my head right now because I'm trying to stay focused here. But yeah, you definitely want, eat slower. Yeah, error. Yep. Okay, so yeah, just eat slower, okay? And then if you can't eat slower, then eat food throughout the day. Makes it a lot easier. Focus on the foods that digest easily for you and not somebody else on the internet who says that these foods are going to help your digestion or whatever. Focus on the foods that digest well for you, because they may not digest well for you if they digest well for someone else. And then, of course, like the air getting trapped in your stomach and constipation, those come down to the speed at which you eat your food, what kind of food that you did eat, and then getting enough fiber in and drinking enough water. You need to drink enough water with fiber in order to poop. So simple as that. So if you found this video helpful, thank you for watching. If you didn't find it helpful, then I'm sorry you feel that way. But if you did, just go ahead and give me a like or a comment or something like that. So thanks for watching. This is Jay Danger. Boom, baby.